the Monday Night Wars, the Attitude Era. You just had to be there. Definitely one of those eras. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am Tyler, and today we're going to be checking out the entire wave. What wave is this? Wave 4, 5, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you, I guess. So, it's either wave 4 or 5 of the WCW, WWE Monday Night War Elite line, the Walmart exclusive line. And today we've got Diamond Dallas Page, The Chase, if I'm not mistaken, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Big Boss Man, and Curt Hennig, or Mr. Perfect. Now, funny story about this, I was literally just going to get this figure right here, DDP. This was my definitive DDP in my opinion. I think this is the best DDP figure that has come out of this line. And I had almost completely given up hope that I was going to even find this in store because everybody kind of knows, you know, if you're a collector of these figures, you know that the distribution on Walmart's part has been just crap, just awful. So to find these in store was kind of impressive, to say the least. But it seems that my local Walmart had a complete restock of the line. I've honestly never found more than one at a time from this wave, and you know, I just never was crazy about, well, I'm gonna complete the whole line, but this one had too many all-stars for me to pass up. So in the store, saw Stone Cold Steve Austin. There's a few of them, you know, they had quite a few of everyone in the wave. So we grabbed Stone Cold Steve Austin, mostly because my wife was like, hey, isn't that a cool Stone Cold? And I was like, yeah, I guess. And then my stupid FOMO brain couldn't turn down the rest of the wave, so we also got the Big Boss Man. This is the Boss Man I remember. You know, I grew up in the 90s, so this was definitely a no-brainer. Then hometown guy, Mr. Hennig, Mr. Hennig is right, Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig. Comes with 2 head sculpts there. And of course, to sell it all, you don't just get 4 figures in the wave. Of course, you get the Build a Commissioner Shawn Michaels. So we're going to be taking a detailed look and opening up each and every one of these figures, getting them out of their plastic prisons, and of course, building a Shawn Michaels. So let's get right into it. Let's kick off this thing strong with the figure that I wanted the most from the wave. We're checking out Diamond Dallas Page. Now, this DDP, like I said, there's a Chase variant, and I believe this is the Chase variant. The regular has the dark blue jeans, but in my opinion, this was the definitive DDP, of course. Of course, this is the version I remember the most. This is the version that was in video games. This was all the old toys, you know, the Toy Biz stuff. Back of the card, we got a little bio read-up. WCW Nitro, December 8th, 1997. In WCW's internal struggle to defend itself from the NWO, DDP had Scott Hall's number in the main event of Nitro before the New World Order's numbers overwhelmed him. And then you got a little career highlight thing going on here. You got WCW World Heavyweight Champion, WCW United States Champion, and the WCW World Tag Team Champion. So, without further ado, I'm going to come back when I get him out of the card, out of the box. One thing I do want to mention, he does come with an extra set of closed fists, as well as the Build-A-Figure parts, which was Shawn Michaels. We get the head with the hat. And then Shawn also has, well, these probably are for DDP too. Open set of grip hands. And then DDP comes with this waistband that you put around him. If you remember, there's quite a good chunk of time where DDP was dealing with a back injury that kind of had him wearing the brace all the time. So I definitely am going to display him with that. But I got to tell you guys, finding this at retail, you know, right on the Walmart shelves, really just blew my mind. But you know, after seeing this being teased on the, what do they have, the WCW stage, you know, kind of like crowdfund thing as an ultimate, and that it didn't come out was so heartbreaking. But they're slowly but surely releasing all those WCW figures in this form of the Monday Night Wars line. So that being said, I was never the biggest WCW guy, but there are definitely some top guys, top wrestlers that I definitely really loved growing up. DDP being one of them, and I'm also an avid DDP yoga guy, so pretty cool to have this. This was definitely his prime era, his prime look. He comes pre-packaged in the diamond cutter position, but let's go ahead and check out all of the details. So that face scan is pretty spot on, you know. I think a lot of these guys doing the Legends deals and whatnot has benefited us collectors, us fans, because we're getting the best and most updated head sculpts, head scans for these guys. And that skin tone is like perfect, right on, perfect amount of like tan, I guess, if that's what you want to call. The hair, the sculpt is fantastic. I don't know if it's necessarily the right shade for DDP, but I'm not going to judge it too hard. Get a good look at those tattoos there. Pretty spot on. Definitely went into a lot of work with the decal, the deco. Got a tattoo on the chest there, that little diamond, or I'm sorry, the star. As well as the other arm, he's got tattoos as well. And they look incredible. So, elbow pads, got the black with the brown pads going on. Black wrist tape and finger tape, which I never understood the point of finger tape, but you know, whatever. Down to the light bluish sort of skinny jeans. I mean, at the time, that wasn't really the thing. He just was wearing jeans, you know. That's what he worked in. That's what he wrestled in. He's got black boots. And overall, I really think that this DDP is just, you can't really improve anything about it. Standard Elite articulation, I don't really need to go over too much of it. You've seen it all before. Doesn't seem to have the drop hip problem. I think that that is not far behind us, but in the past, to an extent. You got to display him with this because he did go through quite a chunk of time where, yeah, his back was injured. So for them to include this, the little details, I really think makes the difference. It took me a minute to get it on, but there he is with the back brace on. I think that that completes the look, absolutely. He especially had that, you know, that was a big story with his match against the Macho Man. I'm sorry, Bret Hart. No, it was Macho Man, I'm sorry. But you see that it's not really sitting on there that well, so I don't know how well I'm going to be able to display it. Execution is not really all there, but 10 out of 10 perfect DDP figure for sure. Alright, so moving on to the Big Boss Man. Check out the packaging. It's got this cool, like, you know, all of them kind of have the same packaging. I believe, like I said, yeah, this is wave 4 or 5 maybe, I don't know. This is one line of Elites that I've not been keeping up with just because the distribution has not really been great in the Midwest. So this is from, this figure is specifically from the Raw October 12th, 1998. In the corporation's attempt to end Stone Cold Steve Austin, they brought back their own head of security with a background in dealing out some hard time, the Big Boss Man. Career highlights: World Tag Team Champion, Hardcore Champion, Hall of Fame inductee. Looks like he comes with the arms and the figures, so without further ado, let's get him out of the packaging. This is not something I did for the Shawn Michaels, or I'm sorry, the DDP, but look at how many extra hands that you get for Shawn Michaels. And all the other extra stuff you get with the Big Boss Man. He even got his mask there. Alright, so the Big Boss Man comes pre-packaged with the famous handcuffs, of course, and of course his nightstick. And his vest, I thought would be more of like a, what do you want to say, kind of like molded onto the body. It is, but it's not all the way there, which I think kind of makes it cooler. Feels a little bit more looser joints. I like that. I like that a lot. Not so stiff joints. The head sculpt, I think, could be a tiny bit better, but it is, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I kind of dig it. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's perfect for what we can get right now. With him being passed for so long ago, you know. We got a lot of leg movement going on there. So articulation is pretty dang perfect as far as this figure goes. But, of course, the boss man, the big boss man, he comes with his, of course, his tactical vest, down to the black pants, the belt, the boots, and like I said, he's got kind of like a black shirt underneath. This is pretty perfect, honestly. He's got that kind of evil grin on his face going on there. Can have him handcuff up Stone Cold Steve Austin, or whatever the case might be. Of course, he's got his nightstick. And this is the big boss man I remember from being a kid, for sure. So, definitely a really cool figure. Cool to have him in the collection. I actually never owned a big boss man action figure, not even when I was a kid, up until now. So this is very cool to add to the collection. Now let's move on to Curt Hennig. What seems to be the only figure from the line that comes with 2 extra heads. We get Curt Hennig here. And of course he's coming packaged with his guitar. And one interesting thing that really piqued my interest when I saw him on the shelf at Walmart was his singlet. It seems to me that they kind of went with the old, you guys remember the ringside exclusive Undertaker that came out like 4 or 5 years ago? That kind of material. You know, you kind of pull the straps down. I'm not sure. I haven't watched any reviews of this particular set myself. So, I'm getting my first little look. I got Curt Hennig down the side there, as well as the same portrait right there. All right, so Nitro, January 11th, 1999. After disbanding from the New World Order, Curt Hennig aligned himself with a faction of superstars from West Texas with a shared distaste for rap music. Career highlights: Intercontinental Champion, WCW United States Champion, WCW World Tag Team Champion. And honestly, in my opinion, a guy that could have definitely won the big one and ran with it, for sure. So let's go ahead and take a look at Mr. Perfect. Real quick, I forgot to mention the big boss man's like executioner, overhead kind of helmet, whatever. This definitely makes the figure stand out like way cooler. I don't know why, but putting this on like completely is just like, oh my god, super cool. One thing that you kind of be conceiving a little bit from the packaging is you can't really tell that there's an NWO t-shirt in there, so, or at least a tank top. But here's everything. It looks like it comes with the Shawn Michaels body. You get 3 sets of hands for Mr. Perfect, as well as that additional head sculpt. Alright, so straight out of the packaging, this figure is quite damn impressive. You got Curt Hennig, he's got the cowboy hat going on, the guitar. You don't get many Mattel guitars, you know? He's got the black singlet going down to the black knee pads and the white boots. On the backside, got a little bit of white accented. Let's take a look at that hair sculpt. It seems like they're kind of going a different route with hair sculpts and colors and tones and stuff like that. And I think the likeness to the wrestler itself is fantastic, you know. The guitar is removable, but why remove it? He's got the same articulation as you could just about imagine. Actually, we are going to remove it just because it can't be too dang hard to take off of here. We got to swap the head and put the shirt on anyways. So, I don't know. I really dig this head sculpt, personally. But it does seem like we do got that material where you could almost take the straps down if you wanted to. From what I'm hearing, though, off of like, you know, like figure groups and stuff that I'm in, I didn't have the Undertaker that I mentioned, but it seems to me that this material doesn't last like they expected it to. So, gonna be careful and keep an eye on this over the next few years, but you got a lot of heads and hands stuff like that. But I don't know if I like that idea. I like just having the grip hands, so you can hold the guitar, look like he's strumming the guitar. Let's swap out this head, put that NWO shirt on him. This one he's got ponytail, and it seems to me that they kind of wanted to do a 2-for-1 figure, because this head sculpt matches the gear along with that NWO t-shirt. Got the ponytail look. This is actually a really stunning head sculpt. They really did well with this. But if I'm being honest, I think I'm gonna go back with the wrap is crap head scan as well as the guitar. Now that NWO shirt could just be put on somebody else. I can't even lie to you. I kind of ripped it a little bit when I was taking it off. This is the thing that I wasn't gonna mention, but I don't necessarily know if I like the style of the new shirts that they're doing. Back in the day, you just get the Velcro strap on the back, but now it's like skin tight as far as on the figure. But yeah, I don't know how big of a fan I am of that, but that's all right. I wasn't gonna use it on this figure anyway, but it's very cool that they had the idea to do a 2-in-1 kind of deal. But I personally just really like this like pre-packaged Curt Hennig figure, or how it's pre-packaged. You can have him shredding the guitar. You know, rap is crap, man. So very cool to have a Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig in my collection, because I never had one before. All right, last but not least, man, we got the best. We got the man, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Of course, before we build the Shawn Michaels. But yeah, we got Stone Cold Steve Austin here. Everybody remembers this notorious moment. He's got that Raw's War microphone package in there, a couple hands, as well as the shirt. Seems like it's kind of the same style as the one I was just kind of talking about in the last segment. Raw, September 22nd, 1997. It was the stunner heard around the world as the Texas Rattlesnake delivered the first of many Stone Cold Stunners to the boss, leading to his arrest. Career highlights: WWE Champion, Intercontinental Champion, World Tag Team Champion. So let's go ahead and get Stone Cold off the card. So here we got the Texas Rattlesnake with that iconic Stone Cold, half skull t-shirt. Nothing on the back, but this is definitely a head sculpt we've had before. Didn't really need to reinvent the wheel. You know, he kind of had that crap-eating grin on his face in that moment of after stunning the boss. He's got the microphone, that Raw's War microphone, and I gotta say, that watch, that's a nice touch. He's got the black shorts, no knee braces in that segment, he didn't have them. Black boots, and the articulation, standard Elite articulation. You can do whatever you want with them. With such a cool Stone Cold figure. Definitely got to have this moment in the collection. I still wish I had Monday Night Wars issue 1 Stone Cold, but he's going for quite a few bucks nowadays. Very cool Stone Cold figure. I'll never pass up a Stone Cold Steve Austin figure. One of my favorites, one of the all-time greats, of course. And I feel like we're going to see a lot of Stone Colds in the Monday Night Wars line. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and build this Shawn Michaels, shall we? So we got all the pieces here. I'll try to film as much of it as I can. Should all just kind of pop on. Actually, you know what? It's probably going to be better if I don't film it. It's going to be a mess. All right, so I got the Shawn Michaels put together. I couldn't film it. Putting the torso on the legs is like super frustrating, if I'm being honest. And I don't know if I'd necessarily like the design choice that they went with, because as soon as you lift his legs up and everything, it pops right off. So yeah, you could hear the click, it's in there, but you can't, I don't think you could really display or play with it that much to, you know, I don't know what you can do with it. I'm going to play around with it, but let's talk about the appearance of it. It's an excellent suited figure. You got that Shawn Michaels head sculpt. Perfect, spot on with that ponytail there. Can't really ask for much more than that. On with the standard Shawn Michaels black cowboy hat. But other than that, it's a standard Build-A-Figure base bodysuit suited figure. It's really cool. It's just be careful with the legs and everything like that, and the arms are super stiff to move around. So all in all, I think that this wave was worth it, especially since Walmart's only asking for 20 bucks a pop on them. But yeah, let's go ahead and show them all off here. Let me know what you guys think about this wave. Who's your favorite from all of these? And of course, be sure to like and comment and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next video.